Hello sunshine and welcome to a little bit of soul. In today's video I'm going to be showing you my seed starting setup and also showing you that it is possible to grow indoors in a limited space. So let's get started. Okay, so here's where I have my greenhouse. It's pretty much tucked in the corner in my living room because basically that's the only spot I have that I can really use because my house is really not that big. And so when I pan it, I'll pan it up and down for you and you can see that it just fits right there in the little corner. And I also have it on top of a heat vent so that it can provide warmth for my seeds to germinate. The greenhouse is about 27 inches wide by 63 inches tall and 19 inches deep, and pretty much is perfect for people that have smaller spaces like I do. What I like about this greenhouse from other ones is the mesh like plastic covering that it has. Most of the time when you buy it in the store or on Amazon, they'll come like with a clear plastic cover, and this one has like a mesh like pattern, which I think like if you're growing outside in this little greenhouse, I think will be better because it will give more coverage for the plants so that they don't get burnt. The only thing I wish that this greenhouse and any of the other greenhouses that I've seen, I wish they had like a little window right here so that way I can just open it up. As you can see, mine is a little bit jaggedy just because it's not open up. So I basically just cut a square on it and just use the duct tape just because during the day when I'm not home, I want to keep it open a little bit so some of the heat can come out and doesn't stress out the plants from too much heat. I have a cat and he likes to get into everything, and this is the solution I found that keeps him away from getting inside my greenhouse. All right, so let's just open it up so that you guys can see how it looks on the inside. So one of the things that I like about this is so that doesn't make it look too messy, it gives you this so that you can just roll it up like this. I always seem to have some kind of problem. Oh well, we'll get it. Alrighty, like that. And then it provides you with these little strings so that you can keep them up like this. And when I'm home, I usually keep it open like this because I'll be able to keep an eye on my cat. And then as you can see on the inside, I have 4 shelves on it. And Amazon has one that has 5 shelves on it. And I'm really seriously thinking about upgrading to that one just because it'll give me more growing space. And so each shelf has its own light source. And I'm just putting you these trays here so that you guys can get an idea how many trays can fit in here. All right, so taking a look inside, you can see that you can fit a lot of trays in here. And I got these trays right here from a website called Greenhouse Mega Store. They were like $11 and they were the self-watering ones. They don't have them available anymore, which I'm kind of bummed because I really like those. And then these are just like your standard 10-20 trays. And that's basically what I use when my plants are a little bit taller. I'll use those 10-20 trays, and then I'll use these and I'll just put it all the way around that big shelf. And then over here, you see you can fit 3 of those, which is a 24 cell, and I can push them all the way back, and I can fit more. I can fit more of those on the back or in the front, whichever one I decide. But generally, you can pretty much get creative with this little greenhouse. It's very versatile, and I really like it. And it's suitable for me because I'm able to grow a lot of plants in just a small space. So this is basically what it looks like on the inside. I took the trays out so you guys can see exactly the setup that I have. And all my lights are all LED, which will save me money on my electricity bill. And they're also full spectrum, which means that these lights emit all the lights that the plants will need in order for them to grow healthy. And then I have a little fan in the corner for ventilation when it's closed during the day. And I also have this little thing right here, which will tell me how much the humidity is and how much heat it is in the greenhouse. I just want to point out that you don't actually need grow lights in order to provide lights for your seeds, but this is what I use. I know I've seen some garden YouTubers use a shop light. The only thing that you have to make sure is that the light source that you're using has enough lumens and kelvins in order for your plants to thrive. And basically what a lumen means is the level of brightness that a light bulb has. So the higher the lumen, the brighter the light bulb will be. And what a Kelvin is, it's the measure of color temperature that a light bulb has. So plants typically need red and blue lighting. So in natural sunlight, they get about 2,700 to 7,000 kelvins. So if you're looking for a shop light, I would shoot for something that has between from 5,000 to 7,000 kelvins. But you also have to keep in mind that you will have to be moving the light source up and down as your plants grow, which is why I like the grow lights that I have, because I don't have to move them up and down since they're full spectrum. On the first shelf, I have what I call octopus lights. I needed a way to figure out how to provide a light source for the top shelf, and this is what I came up with. It has like a clip that you can clip onto the shelf. And the good thing about this light is that you can move it up and down according to the growth of the plant. And I typically use the first shelf for plants that have outgrown the bottom shelves. What I like about this light source is that it has 3 color settings, which is red, blue, or both of them. I normally keep mine with the red and blue setting. And it also comes with a timer, which is a 3-hour setting, a 9-hour setting, and a 12-hour setting. And I always keep mine at a 12-hour setting. In the middle shelves, I have 6 individual grow light strips that are attached to the upper shelves with zip ties. See? The zip ties are right there. I like them because I can have them at the level that they are at without having to move them as the plant grows. I also like that they link together and I don't have to have a lot of cords everywhere. And not only that, but they are the same length as my greenhouse, so there isn't any overhang and I'm able to close the cover without any problems. The bottom shelf I use more as a germination chamber since it's the warmest shelf, and these lights are one of the first lights I bought when I first got my greenhouse. The middle set of lights are okay and I wish they were wider, but they work, so that's all that matters. The lights that are on the outside of the shelf look like shop lights, but they are actually grow lights. They also link together and are the same length as the greenhouse. They work good, but I do find that I have to move them up and down, and that's why I have them on the lower shelf. So basically what I do is when my seeds germinate and they are a certain height, I'll move them to the upper shelves. Just wanted to show you my seed starting setup and also to encourage you guys to grow even if you have a little space. I pretty much last year grew about 140 plants from this little greenhouse. I just want to point out that I'm not an expert on grow lights. This is what works for me, and what I recommend is that you do your own research to figure out what works for you. But I will link down below in the description all the things that I used in this video. Also, I forgot to mention that I do have my greenhouse on a timer, and this is basically what I use. I use a smart plug and I have it hooked up to my Alexa as well as on my iPhone, and I can control it that way. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one. Happy sowing!